Okay, so this is the software that I use to do the picture-in-picture Flashback Express 5 recorder. Now for Tech Tuesday, we're going to talk about that. But for right now, because we had some audio issues, we're going to do a video voiceover of our Friday video. So let's get that started.
This is the Weightlifting Geek, the intersection of technology and technique, and the home of the 3, 2, 1 Geek Squad! I love it.
Yo.
I love it. This
Okay,
is
put 800 up there.
There you go. We hype now. Mondays and Fridays we upload a weightlifting video. Tuesdays we upload a technology video. Check out our social media. Check out our Amazon affiliate links. Let's get to the workout. All right, y'all, we're back. Today is deadlift day, and today we're gonna do Jesse's workout plan. We're just mixing it up. I'm in between Taylor's programming, so we're just trying everything. Nothing wrong with mixing it up. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do some deadlifts, do some squat, and some accessories. So stay tuned. So y'all will understand what's going on today. Today we're doing dynamic effort, which basically means we're not necessarily going for a heavy number, but it's more working on form and as they say in Remember the Titans, perfection. That's what we're working on. So Jesse's doing 315. I'm gonna do 225 and 10 sets of 3, just really working on form and getting ready for what happens when big weight comes.
Okay, so this is the point. We started out with 135. Everything was going great. I did my first set of 3 and my receiver failed, or my transmitter for the microphone failed. I was so in the zone that I just plugged it back up and kept going. Little did I know I was losing audio for the rest of the video. But what Jesse's telling me right here is that just like with the bench press and just like with squats, everything is the same. The form is the same, the stance is the same, and I've got to develop the same thing for deadlift. So he's telling me not to worry about my knees, but to make sure that I get the bar close to my shins and to let it ride up my legs. You'll see him demonstrate that in just a second. Because y'all remember, I've been losing a lot of power with the swing before I actually pull the weight when it comes to deadlifting. So he's talking about proper stance. He's talking about rooting. We're going to get to that in just a second, so that everything is there and it moves properly. And he said the bar should be touching your shins when you're at the bottom of your stance. Doesn't matter how wide the grip is on the bar, but the bar should be touching your shins when you're at the bottom of your deadlift stance. These are things that Taylor's told me for so long, and for some reason this day it really clicked. So even though we lost audio, I couldn't not share this with you because this was the beginning of a new phase in my deadlift journey. So Jesse's reminding me again to let it ride up my legs instead of just trying to yank it, to keep it close to my body, because that's going to keep all of the power and I won't lose any. And what he told me right there was to clear the slack in the bar, because otherwise you end up having to lift twice, because you got to clear the slack, then you got to pull the bar. But if you clear the slack first, it's just one solid pull. And here he told me something I hadn't thought about. He said when you do mixed grip, to mix your hands up. So if your right hand is always over and your left hand is always under, you're going to end up with that sway that he was just demonstrating, because one side is more powerful than the other. But he said you got to flip them so that everything is even with your body and your muscles and your power. I don't know what we were talking about right here, but it was some really good conversation. Now this is 365. Now for me, this is getting toward the heavier end of my list, but Jesse does this like I would do 125. He's actually demonstrating and showing everything. He's talking about rooting. He's talking about his chest and going up and following the body. So he's rooting, he's filling his chest cavity with air, and then he's coming straight up his body. Now we're going to get to the air part later, because there was another tip that he gave me that I don't know if you've noticed, but I started doing with my deadlifts. So now we're at 225. Now I'm having so much fun and I'm learning so much that I literally sit beside my iPad but don't even check to see if the audio is working. Now Jesse talked about rooting, which is using your toes to grip into the ground. So he told me to take my shoes off. Now fortunately I wore my good socks, the ones that weren't holy. So it turned out pretty good. But here he's just reminding me and showing me how to do that to help with the stance. What he's telling me is a lot of people think that the deadlift is a pull movement, and it is a pull, but it's only a pull at a certain point. And Taylor's told me since day one that the deadlift is more of a floor press than an actual pull. And that's where I've been trying to get better at. But this particular day, with the stuff that Taylor had been telling me and what Jesse was showing me, it finally clicked. Now here what he's telling me is if I'm having trouble breathing, that I can actually open up one leg, because you can fill your diaphragm up with air and then come and go. Which at first looked really silly to me, but I declare y'all it works. It's amazing. And it's become my new stance for deadlifting. You'll see me do it often, because I get set and I can bring that leg back, and then because now my chest is open, I get my air and then I go. That is 275, and 275 moved like 125 with the proper tips and techniques that Jesse and Taylor have been telling me. So what Jesse's telling me here is to finish the deadlift and clear your shoulders. Don't hunch over. And then now we went to something that I'd never done before, which is snatch grip deadlift. But you can see me and Jesse, we laugh and joke all the time. I don't even know what he was telling me, but it was funny. So snatch grip deadlift, your arms are very far out. And the premise behind that is if you can lift weight with your arms that far out, when you bring your hands back to your normal stance and your arms aren't as far out, it makes you more powerful. So Jesse's doing the same thing with the diaphragm and filling with air. And you can actually watch it rock over his knees and come back. So that's what I'm working on getting better at myself. But I feel like these tips are really helping me to have a little bit more comfort when it comes to deadlift. Let me know in the comments below if you like this idea. I'm trying to turn lemons into lemonade here. I hated to just let this video not come out because there was so much good knowledge. So I'm trying to include the things that I know everybody likes and make a video at the same time. That 275 hurt. It hurt in a good way. It was a good stretch and a pull. But those are the little things that's helping my deadlift. I came up needing air, like, woo, it's done. Then we switched to squats. I just jumped to me doing 225. Jesse is a real stickler on form, and in the meets that he competes in, the way that you see him spot me is the way that they spot anybody with any weight, just so that if something happens, somebody's right there to get the weight off of me. And I did this for 8. This is Jesse doing 365. He does 10 reps of this, and his squat technique and form, he literally sits all the way down in the squat and comes back up. So Taylor's helping me and Jesse's helping me to get my form better. But you can see how low he comes on the squat and then comes back up. So I'm surrounding myself with these people that are much stronger than me, like Taylor and Jesse and Mike. You're gonna meet Mike in a future video. I think I got a couple videos before the one where he lifted with me drops. But Mike is another guy, super strong dude. And all of these things just help me to get better. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for watching the video and making it to the end. You're gonna see the actual end screen cards here. But I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate the support. You guys are amazing, and we're so close to 400. We're at 392. So let's keep pushing. We're gonna get this 400. But as we always say at the end of every video, stay strong, stay positive, stay active. Geek Squad. I hope you guys have Have a good evening.